This is the Petebox. For NG magazine. Yeah.
I just wanted to have like a quick chat with you about how you got into like beatboxing, why you got into it, and what's kind of influenced you really. Like,
well, I got into beatboxing. It was actually my cousin came down from Cornwall. He was like, "Oh, we're doing this thing at school, and like do like kind of rudimentary stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, it was alright, you know, I did a little bit." But then I heard this guy Barzell on a CD, and it was like, you know, credit to my cousin, he was pretty good, but it was the first time I heard it like proper, you know, musical and technical and stuff. So from then on, I was like, wow, this exists, and found out as much as I could. Copied other beatboxers, and I don't care about that. And so, you know, once you learn what you can do and learn the moves, then you can sort of start to play around and make your own music.
So how old were you when that happened?
About 18.
Cool. And like, you're from Nottingham, like originally. Like, whereabouts are you from, and like, where did you grow up?
A little out of town, a place called Southwell. So I went to school, and it was my stomping ground. Then since I moved out, I've been living in Sherwood, Aspley, and now I live in Snelton. So
like, do you think the city's kind of helped shape your musical kind of vision, or not really?
No, not really. It's like I'm kind of. Yeah, but I'm definitely part of the music scene. It's just like there's so many great bands for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I won't name any in case I forget a few. But like, yeah, there's just like so many, and it's just being out and about and listening and watching. So yeah, it's all part and parcel.
How do you feel like when people diss Nottingham? Does it kind of bother you or anything?
When people diss Nottingham?
Yeah.
No, I don't take it personally or anything like that. It's like people are going to think what they want, but do you know what I mean? Like, I guess like my in terms of my identity with Nottingham is, you know, I meet so many. I'm travelling around to different cities and stuff, and I was like, oh, I didn't really like that. It's like, no, it's actually quite good. So yeah, you try and do your bit to defend your city.
So you've never been shot at or anything?
No, I've never really been amongst it. I've been beaten up a few times, but oh well, that's the way it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, your hair is kind of like a little bit scary. Like, does it get you into trouble?
No,
like the way you
trying to make myself a car, right? No, I don't get into trouble. Don't get me wrong. Like that, like there's been. I think I do not get it. Like I've like been beaten up a couple of times just randomly in my life, and that's, you know, it's quite good going. But that's not because I get into trouble. That's just because there's been stuff. But no, never. No one ever comes up to me and thinks that I'm any kind of threat. I don't know why, because obviously I'm a massive hard man. But yeah, no kind of trouble.
Cool. Okay. Well, beatboxing is obviously like fiercely competitive arena. Did you ever think you'd win awards and stuff when you started out?
No, and like I still don't. It's good that you do and stuff, but that's not like the focus at all. Like it's like this kind of competitive element to music. I don't quite understand it. Like, you know, so when you start, you kind of, I'm a beatboxer, there's competitions, I'm going to competitions, but then you quickly realise that that's not what it's all about at all. Like, the thing should be to make good music.
Yeah.
Use your beatbox skills to make good music, like not to beat someone else. You see what I mean? So yeah, it's cool, but it's not my focus.
So, like, when you've done things like, you know, the beatbox championships and stuff, surely the whole competitive element that really comes into it.
Yeah.
Do you just ignore it then?
I just go and do my thing, you know. I'm not one of those, your mama's terrible or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I keep clear of that. Just do my thing. Yeah, that's it. It's not like my favourite arena to kind of perform in, but it is good if you win.
Okay, so what kind of arena do you like to perform in?
Just any other one where you're just there to do your music instead of there to be like judged against the next guy. That's like not really fun ever.
So like it seems, I mean, you've touched on it before, but you've like travelled like all over the place and you've done loads of festivals and stuff. Is that where you kind of feel at home? Are you enjoying doing that?
Festivals are great, yeah. I love festivals are probably one of my favourite kind of places to play. So I was just like loving it. Like there's people there and they're really there to see music and like see new music and have a right good party, which is kind of a happy marriage between the two. Like you can play it like a club and everyone's sort of like sort of unis, perhaps people like, you know, they want to hear the beat and want to hear the song that you know, But the kind of what I do with the loop pedal, I also like, you know, playing in sort of band nights and stuff where people are really kind of involved in what I'm doing and listening to the way I'm creating music.
Okay, so you've mentioned like the loop pedal, which is what I wanted to talk about. Like, where did that idea come from? Because it's so ridiculously simple, really, but I've not really seen any other beatboxers doing that.
Yeah, there's a few beatboxers doing that. Well, again, like the idea of ripping someone off is like, did John Lennon rip off Buddy Holly because he plays guitar? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of whole attitude it comes part and parcel, but I don't subscribe to it at all. It's like, yeah, I saw another beatboxer using the loop pedal. I heard another beatboxer, and then I was like, man, I've got to get me one of those. And so I got one, but the songs that I make and the arrangements I make are completely different. So even though we're beatboxers and we use loop pedals, and there's so many beatboxers doing it now, as there's so many beatboxers, you'll get one thing seeing this guy's show to seeing this guy's show, and you get another thing from other shows. So it's just like how you use it, as long as you're just not copying and, you know, constantly just doing covers of like someone else's songs or whatever, then, you know, it's just about using an instrument and using like a device and then making original music.
Yeah, being creative.
And I do a lot of covers as well, but that's
yeah.
I think that's well.
And that's like leading nicely into the next question, because obviously you do all sorts of like covers of songs, like with this loop pedal, and you cover things like rock tracks, hip hop, and, you know, dance and stuff, and then you do like kind of religious stuff as well, like not like really religious, but
yeah.
So how do you decide what to cover?
Like, I just like the song, like the whole hymn thing. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not Jewish. I just like the song. You know what I mean? And like, so I'll just kind of play around with it, and then normally something will come out of playing out with it, or it's just if you like a melody and a beat and the bass line of the song, I'll kind of do it. I'll use it in my repertoire.
Cool. Okay. Do you do requests?
No, never.
So no Stairway to Heaven or anything? Okay, right, so obviously like beatboxing is all about, it all seems to be about the live element and the live arena and stuff, and obviously you really like come into your own into that, but do you have any plans to like release anything?
Yeah, I'm recording stuff at the moment, working with different producers, like, yeah, it's just as viable, like, it's kind of, you know, the step one is to hopefully have a good song, so as long as the music's there, then hopefully the kind of way you make it, it's not going to determine if people like it as much, but obviously it is a huge factor, and then so hopefully people will get some tunes that they might like, but then there's the intrigue of the fact it's made with your mouth, and if it's produced right, it's kind of got to be a balance between, you got to make it sound great, but you don't want to overproduce it, because otherwise it kind of takes the beatboxing element out of it. So yeah, it's a fine balance, but I'm working on it.
So that's quite exciting. Can you give us any details of what you're planning, or not really?
Just some songs on record, yeah, with a few producers and like stuff I produce myself. It'll take a long while. I think it'll be like mid next year before it's done. But it's a sort of journey into the movements of the mouth and what you can do on record in terms of that.
Do you get like any obsessive fans or any stalkers or anything?
No, so many. Like, I just come out of my house and they're just like screaming, paparazzi's, gigs. I have to like, sometimes I just have to punch groupies to get to the limo.
Right.
So, I mean,
cool. All right. Well, yeah. Is there anything else you kind of want to add or anything? Like, how would you describe yourself to somebody who's not seen you before?
Stupid hair. Not that aggressive, but may come across a bit. I'm a beatboxer. I use my mouth to create music. That's basically it. I do bits of all kinds of music, and you can check out more at www.thebeatbox.com.